Season's greetings, LJ.
Merry Xmas to you too, man. Even
Merry-
though we're in 2023,
Yeah.
a couple of days in.
Yeah, it's still the season. That's why we thought we would squeeze this one in. And we are going to do LeXmas from Smallville. Okay, you watched Smallville. Tell me about your experience with Smallville.
So I remember way back when we lived in the apartment together, when we were in college. That was my first exposure to Smallville. And it was just another Superman series. And, it was like, okay. So some of the episodes were cool, though, because I do remember vaguely, a lot of the characters and what happens. And of course, there's always this long history between Superman and Lex Luthor, the evildoer. And of course, there's got to be that in those types of shows. But, the show, though, and now that I've watched this one, now I want to see what the hell happens, because at the end of the episode, I'm like, all right, what's he going to do? Of course, we're going to talk about that, but
yeah, we'll definitely get into that. I guess I should start. You're listening to K. All right, and my name is Casey Jones, and with me again is my co-host LJ Solar. Man, always a pleasure to see you, dude.
Hell yeah!
All right. Well, we're just going to dive right in. I love this episode. I forgot how much I love this episode. Michael Rosenbaum, Rosie, really pulls out some good acting here.
Lex.
Lex.
Know what, man? All these, it went on for what, 10 seasons? 10
seasons.
10 years. That's crazy. And on average, it's okay if your show does 3 or 4, maybe. That's pretty good. This is excellent. So when a show goes on this long, obviously there's a lot of love for the show and the characters. And dude, do you know what? A crazy thing is we actually named Chloe after Chloe. And then of course we found all this shit later. She was involved in some badass sex scandal. I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, but that's anyway, insane. We're not going to touch on that, but I think that's awesome. So yeah, she's a great character in this series. I guess I just want to say, this really started, and a lot of people, this is going to come up to light and everything. And I guess because Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling are doing a rewatching podcast called Talkville.
You know what? Yeah, Megan mentioned that. Yeah. She said that the two main characters were rewatching the show together and talking about it. I was like, that's pretty cool.
It's really good, man. It's really good. But they say, and they point out, that this show really started the whole, because right after this was Arrow and Flash and everything, all that other stuff.
Yeah, all the spin-off shows, right? From the
CW.
The Marvel? Or no, DC.
DC.
Wait, Superman DC? DC.
Yeah, that's right. Superman's DC. Yeah.
DC.
We're going to get some hate in the comments, but that's why we're here, is to share stories about these characters that we love, or that I love, and share them with you.
And that I know about, but don't love. But yeah, who doesn't love a what am I trying to say? Not a superhero. Yeah, who doesn't love a freaking superhero, man?
Yeah, it's great. Well, let's just jump right in here. We start off with I've got to say this. I know I meant to say this last time, and I kept, in the last episode that we were doing the epilogue for Justice League, I kept saying there are all these black and white shots and everything. And I kept saying, all right, well, hang on. I'm going to explain all this in the very end, and I'm going to tell you about what happens. I'm going to enlighten you. And I never did. And so I realized that right after we recorded, and I was like, anyway. So, what happens is, and one of the showrunners said this, is that the black and white shots are Terry imagining what would happen if he quit, or different possibilities of what could happen in the future. So they're not concrete. Like, you remember how in the first scene, you see him punch through the clock that leads to the Batcave. Then at the end, I pointed out that it's not broken. You remember?
Yeah, no, it was miraculously fixed. I'm sure it's because they're millionaires, right?
But that's why, because that scenario didn't happen. all of them didn't happen.
Oh, so now, okay. Yeah, I thought, of course, it was either an editing error
Mm-mm.
or they're just millionaires and they can just get it fixed.
No, they didn't happen. They're just like kind of could be's or whatever, because that's why he calls his girlfriend at the end, and she's not mad at him, and he decides to show the ring to her,
see.
and so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I didn't.
yeah, so I just wanted to tie that up. So anyway, now moving on to Smallville, LeXmas. Okay, so Ray Charles is starting us off here, and it's Christmas Eve, and I love this Ray Charles music playing in the background. And
I didn't even know it was Ray Charles, man.
Yeah, it's Ray Charles.
That's legit.
Yeah, they got Ray Charles. Can you imagine how much that probably cost them at the time?
Right.
Yeah. So Lex drives up in his car. I don't know what kind of car it is. I'm not a car person, but apparently it's a badass car.
Yeah, it's a sports car.
Yeah.
In this like raunchy ass neighborhood.
Yeah.
That ultimately led to something bad happening, right?
Yeah. It's all raining. And he walks up to this warehouse, and this door is just open. He doesn't open it, and that's what I thought that was a little weird.
I didn't even catch that. Yeah. And I watched the damn show twice too, and I did not catch that he just walked in.
He just walked in and then closes the door because it's a big ass door, and he's got to put some weight to it. And then we meet Griff, and Griff is just sitting on some boxes in this ongoing pipe hallway.
Basement, and there's water dripping. Does it smell bad in there?
Yeah,
probably.
My dad used to say that Lex, and I love Michael Rosenbaum. Please don't take this the wrong way. This is just a memory that I have of my dad. And he would say, "Oh, Lex, he's a knothead." And I was like, "What? What does that mean?" And it's just because he has a little bump on the back of his head. We all do. But his I don't know what it is.
It's the shit. I knew the medical term the occipital pro something. I don't know.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah, it's an actual. I don't know I forgot what it was called.
There you go.
Something protuberance, occipital protuberance.
Oh my God.
Way wrong.
We're gonna go medical tights and lightsabers now. But his is just pronounced, and he's a lovely person. I love him as an actor and a human being. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going on here. That's just a memory I have of my dad. And he said maybe he got it because he got hit on the head. Anyway.
Even though we all have one.
Yeah, we all have one. Yeah, what place is this? Anyway. He says he wants to get information to bring down anything he can do to bring down Jonathan Kent in the race.
You know what? Initially, I didn't catch that he was running for office. Mm-hmm. I thought he was trying to murk him. I thought he was going to kill him initially. Yeah. And then when I watched it a second, obviously watching it through, he's the senator. Or he's running for senator.
He's going to run.
And I was like, okay, hello. He's trying to dig up dirt on this guy.
Yeah. And so he says, Lex is just like, just give me just 24 hours to figure this out before you do it. And Griff says, Lionel wouldn't hesitate. Again, it's the father-son relationship. Yeah, Lionel, he does not give a shit. And I know we're just watching one episode, and we'll talk about that later. Going to talk about maybe a different kind of format that we can do to kind of stretch out and do longer arcs. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, on K. No, just kidding. I'm not going to do it.
And you did it anyway.
I did. I probably did it. No, we'll cut that out. All right, let's see. Lionel wouldn't hesitate. Yeah, Lex just wants to do this on his own anyway. And he says he's getting sentimental. And Lex says, I love it. There's always, both of them two are always like, my father, my father, my father, my father. Mm-hmm. And Lionel's always like, son, my son. When I had to give you electric shock, it broke my heart. Anyway,
they turn a switch on in terms of how they talk to each other in the show.
Yeah, they're great together. Anyway, these people get kicked out of a bar and they try to hold up Lex, just get asked for his keys and his wallet. And this bitch just straight up shoots him
in the back.
in the back.
I didn't even know she had a gun. And you know what? When they first came out, I was thinking, oh shit, like they're going to ask him for money and they end up shooting his ass and stealing his car. Of course.
It's awful. Lex does a spin out as he falls to the ground, and he wakes up next to Lana in a well-decorated Christmas bedroom. And I love Lex's acting in this scene. He just, he's so great, you know, when he's acting surprised, like, what's going on? And Alexander pops up. They have a kid. And of course, Lex names his son Alex. And we find out that Lana
is that. What's that in reference to?
His name is Alexander Luthor. Lex.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. I thought it was just Lex Luthor this whole time.
No, it's Alexander Luthor.
And so he's an Alex Jr.
Yeah, he's
Alex
just
Jr.,
Alex
baby.
Jr. And
if I were Lana, though, I'd be like, why are you acting weird, yo? Like,
should just be like, maybe he is like, just weird.
Honey, you promised you would take our son to pancakes.
Come on,
a tree.
Stop acting stupid, Lex. Go, you know. But I don't know. Maybe he acts this way every Christmas. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We also see that Lana is preggers. And did they? I guess they just sleep with the Christmas lights on all over the house.
Man, I don't know. That house is decked out. Like we didn't even put a Christmas tree up this year, and I was like, damn! Like there's all kinds of decorations through that house.
I kept mine up just for this episode.
But they are on a budget. I was like,
they're on a budget. So out of character.
Can't just use his diamond plated multi-million-dollar credit card limit.
No, not yet. Lex doesn't know what's going on, and he sees the scars from where he got shot. He runs into the bathroom. He opens the mirror, just takes some random pills, close it, and there's his mother in the background looking back at him. And she tells him that this is not a dream and that this could be his life if he makes the right choices. Oof. When we cut back to Lex in the rain, it's an overhead shot.
Dead.
And I'm like, where is Clark? Of all the times, where is Clark? Like the one time that Clark is not there, Lex just dies.
He's chilling at his house, yo.
This could have been the end of everything, a different path, if Lex died. Anyway, and then we cut to Somebody Say.
Oh my gosh, the intro. I'll never forget that damn song, dude.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out their intro that they have now whenever they have the models or the actors and actresses spinning and the wind is blowing. I hit my mic. The wind is blowing. And they didn't have that. And for the first couple seasons, I think it was just like it they took shots from the show. Action. Yeah, they took shots
showing
from
them
the
in
show.
action.
Yep. All right. So anyway, we cut to Martha Kent baking cookies. Martha is just not sold. Now here's Jonathan. Now this is Jonathan Kent.
Right.
Yeah.
Kent. Not anything having that jack shit to do with Batman. And I knew that, but I don't know why the fuck I said that. It's funny. It's
funny because Smallville and Clark's not really going by
his
Kent.
Dad? His dad off Smallville?
Anyway, Martha's baking cookies. She's not sold on Jonathan running for Senate. Man, they always look so good together, and they just
they're a great couple, right? And they're not, they are a good couple.
They just make out, and then Jonathan steals a cookie, and Jonathan's always got his hand in the cookie jar. He's always trying to get cookies. Let's see. We see Clark and Lana putting up the angel on the tree, and Lana says that it's usually her and her Aunt Nell, and her Aunt Nell was from a few seasons earlier, after after Lana's parents got killed in the meteor shower, she stayed with her Aunt Nell. And so that's what that's a reference to. And she's just Yeah, I know, and it's a throwaway line, but I mean, it kind of shows a little bit of her character, and she says something like plastic. We had a plastic tree with plastic tinsel and everything, and
I
thanks
remember
for
that because
showing
she
me a
said,
real
"Thank
Christmas.
you,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you for not letting me have another plastic Christmas or something
yeah.
like
I
that."
thought that was a great line. It's a really good character building line that I wish they would have maybe slowed down a little bit so we could have heard what she said. Clark gets a phone call. Can you guess who it is?
It was my
It's
daughter,
Chloe. It's amazing. She says she's got a problem and she needs him to get to the planet right now. So just want to point out right now, she knows his secret. She's the one who's kind of helping.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this point in time, she knows his secret. That's
because
why
it actually happens pretty early on in the series, right? It's because he's got to have
season two. The first time the episode was, or the first person who knew was Pete, besides his parents. You know, yeah.
I don't know if Pete is, but yeah, but his parents obviously knew from the beginning.
Yeah,
because they're the ones that found him.
I'm drinking Coke. I shouldn't be drinking Coke. I just don't think I'm going to buy it anymore. That's the problem.
Drink straight vodka.
Yeah, just vodka in a water bottle. That's
how I get away with it, man.
Chloe asks Clark just take a quick ride to Metropolis and come up to the planet.
He's like,
yeah. You know? And then we cut to Lex being rushed to the hospital. Lex he's being run down the hall and everything. So just a few cuts here, a few different scenes. And then,
I liked the transition. Mm-hmm. That was a really cool transition. He was like, Lex. And then of course, traditionally, doctors checking eyes and the patients passed out. And then it flashes back and then it widens out and then it comes back to him. That was a really cool transition. I really liked it. I
love this show took the time to really do those. And this that's what I'd just like to say. I keep tooting this show's horn, but it really cared. The showrunners and everyone involved seemed to really care about it, So I enjoyed watching it growing up. So Lex can't put them in the car seat. And so, yeah,
I know
this music
never done that shit before.
Is straight up from something like Home Alone.
It is, so, yeah. It's all happy and shit, Of course,
but it's Christmas.
That's how I need to portray that.
Yeah. And here's where we find out that they're on a budget, and it's been 7 years since Lionel cut up his platinum card. And before we also find out that they're having a girl. A little girl.
Yep. A perfect family. A little boy and a little girl. One boy, one girl.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't know how many kids. I know Lex, I think he has a son in the comics eventually, but it may just be a clone.
So. With his technology.
Yeah. We find out that Lex overspends because of love, and the kiss here is between Lex and Lana is really good. They had great chemistry, and they really laid one on each other. And then they climb into this shitty car. And I don't know if you heard this, but the little Alex, he burps, and that's
jokingly, and he turns around like,
"What?" Yeah, and that's the kind of. Michael seems to be that kind of person. He seems to be a really joking person. So we cut to them looking at Christmas trees, and what a wonderful shot coming in with them kind of looking at the Christmas trees. He said, Lana said, your mom said, blah, blah, blah. Love that line.
Yeah. Because he's not used to calling her that,
Yeah.
It's like, this is all new still right here.
Then we see Clark and Chloe, and I love Chloe's hair. She's got, I guess, extensions in it or something.
Yeah, you can tell it's under her real hair. The length that it's got in the show. I'm like,
yeah, but they did good. Maybe
have to make it look different a little bit.
Maybe that's a trend in the future. We don't know. So
extensions under your real hair, but making it look obvious that they're extensions.
I got glam, bitch. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Alex, I love this, that Alex wants Uncle Clark to make him fly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They joke around with that.
Another little tidbit is we hear that Clark is now a reporter, but he's a reporter, but he's still not wearing glasses at this point. So, like in Lex's mind, if this is, I don't know, if this is supposed to be the actual future, then did Clark not become Superman yet?
I don't know. I didn't think of it that way at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't even catch the no glasses thing if he works at the planet, because that's right. When he's not Superman, he's got to have his glasses on because
got to have his glasses.
That is a motherfucking disguise.
Anybody ever told you?
Hey, dude.
God, who are you, dude?
Oh,
LJ.
Hey,
some guy's in your apartment, dude.
Hold on. Let me get him.
There you are.
That's
okay.
Exactly.
All right. Man, someone else was here. Scared me. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing.
Anyway, so they leave, right?
Yeah. Chloe we find out that Lex did a tell-all.
There's a book. Yeah. I was like, damn. And then I was like, he went against his whole family. Yeah. And he's like, I did.
Yeah. Exactly.
When she tells him, he's like, oh shit. Yeah. It shocked him.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I just want to point out as they walk off, Clark does put his arm around Chloe. And I thought that was I thought watching this the first time, I was like, oh, they're together, because I just want to point out, I'm going to put my note.
I assume that this was the future, that they're, I don't know if they're married. They never specifically say, but obviously, they're together. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I had, before they introduced the character of Lois Lane, I had always thought that Chloe was going to have to go under the witness protection program or something like that, and she was going to become Lois Lane. When I was first watching this originally.
So that didn't happen?
That didn't.
Obviously not.
Anyway, yeah. So Lionel's hair, I have in my notes here, Lionel's hair arrives at the hospital.
Lionel's hair?
Lionel's hair finds out that Lex has been shot, and he will
Lionel's hair? His hair, his hair is...
His hair is magnificent.
You know what? He does have some pretty nice hair.
Yeah,
it's flowing, and he just commands the audience with this oh yeah, you're telling me I'm gonna call my freaking doctor on call that I pay $1 million a year. We're gonna get this shit worked out.
Gonna get him out of here.
Kind of like that.
And he says Lex is not gonna be. He finds out he's probably going to be paraplegic, and or I don't know, I can't remember what he says, but he won't be able to walk. Pretty much.
Yeah, he's paralyzed from the waist.
Paralyzed from the waist down. Yeah. But that's just every time Lionel is in a scene, his hair is always just on point. John, dang it. Yeah, is
Roback?
it John Glover?
Oh,
yeah, John Roback. That's him.
Hey, Roback.
He's always amazing. Always amazing.
John Roback sounded right.
Well, I could see where you would think that. I could see that. So Lionel's having none of this, and he said it could kill him. This surgery could kill him right now. Lionel doesn't care.
I want to say something when we get to the very end where Lex and him are having a discussion. I'll wait for that part.
All right. So then we cut to the planet, and Chloe asks Clark just to deliver a few of the presents. Some of the Teamsters are on strike, and they're in the basement, I guess, of the Daily Planet. I never understood the lighting here, and I just got to point out, I just love Chloe in this scene. Her acting is just amazing. She's so genuine. When she's asking Clark to do this stuff and she's just smiling. She puts a hat on Clark. I love when she puts the hat on Clark.
It was a cute part of the scene.
Yeah. Anyway, lots of stuff. Get a montage of Clark running around. He's running around doing stuff.
I would have been, dude, if I was him, I'd be like, give me 5 minutes. I'll have this shit done. He's
he should have it done.
And a few parts about that where I don't know, it's kind of nostalgic. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but she mentions, "Oh, I was on MapQuest. You remember that shit?
Oh, MapQuest, yeah,
MapQuest,
yeah.
and I remember getting
She
on
printed
those
it
sites.
out.
Yeah, what's what we would do. We'd print off like the directions to get to a specific part
Exactly.
of, wherever you were going. And then I was like, okay, well, now we use Google Maps, a lot more convenient. And then she uses her old school 8 megapixel camera to snap the shot, and I'm like, all right, here, that's what we got these for.
You could be like, I can't even read this. Here's the names of all, they're all just like super tiny. Yeah. Clark does a montage. We get the young kid coming out and says, "You're not Santa." Clark says he's the new and improved model. Well, then you're not Santa because that guy is. And we see Santa across on the rooftop being drunk, about to fall off.
I was like, here we go, man. I already knew like this dude was wasted from that first shot. He was stumbling around. I'm like,
how did he get on the roof? Anyway, we'll get there. Anyway, Clark just is immediately on the roof with the guy, and he calls him Santa.
Yeah,
he's
does.
like,
well, I mean,
"Hey, Santa."
What would you call him?
Yeah, I know. Hey,
like,
man.
Hey, guy.
Yeah.
Hey, guy.
Yeah. He wants him to. This is a great line from Santa. I just would say, he's like, "Have you had a good look at the world lately? All it is take, bitch, bitch, bitch. What happened to Christmas?" Yeah.
I was shocked whenever I heard that. I was like,
I know.
Of course, I didn't think it was Santa until later. I thought it was just some dude that was acting as Santa.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, shit. I thought that's what I thought it was. Like, I was like, this ain't Santa. Like, it's just some guy that was working at the mall just a few hours earlier.
That's what he is.
And he wanted to get faded and kill himself.
I love it where he says, "What happened to Christmas? Peace on earth and goodwill towards men." And he says the spirit of Christmas is dead, and it's going to take more than Santa Claus to revive it. All right. Then we cut to Lex being moved to Metropolis for immediate surgery. This is another one of the moments where Lex reaches in or Lionel reaches in and he's like, "You will walk again, son."
Yeah.
Son.
He willed that shit. No, he walked again.
Son.
It's all ominous and
yeah. Anyway, I have written here, we're cutting to mega Christmas vibes. Where are we? Is this a new set? Oh, it's Lana's house. Okay, I'm just reading over my notes. Lex spent and he overspent again for Alex, and then we get another telling character moment where Lex says the tree is for him, and he says that after his mom died, Lionel wouldn't allow Christmas in the house, and so it looked like just like the ones that he used to dream of as a kid, and it's the ones he missed. And she says, it tells him the same thing every year.
I know. You tell me the same thing ever. That's where that magical kiss happened. I think you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Or was that before?
It could have been before. It could have been here. I'm not sure.
I think it was right there because then they're like, "Oh, I love you so much, baby."
We find out that they get the corporate gift from Lionel because Lionel is so disappointed.
Dude, I saw that shit and I was like, "What is it? A tub of popcorn?" I'm like, This is a gift from corporate. I'm like, I was expecting a gold bar, baby.
Yeah.
Doing it, baby.
All right.
And you know what?
What?
It is called the occipital protuberance, that little knot on the back of your head.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now you're educated.
Thanks. See, it's medical ties and lightsabers now. So Santa tells Clark that he's giving up Christmas to be with the girl he spied on through his telescope lens. And Clark says he didn't spy on her. That's just another throwaway line that Clark has revealed this about himself to Santa. I just found it odd. Maybe he's trying to find, shit to relate to Santa. What did you think about that? Did you catch that?
One thing is that he's now going to be on the naughty list. And yes, I did catch that because my initial thought was, Superman's a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
But I remember vaguely some episodes where he's using, I remember him in his barn using the telescope.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't remember him ever like, what the hell? Like Lana lives next to him or what?
Well, yeah, she's not far, but he would like look at her and like riding horses or whatever.
Like,
Yeah, he could. But,
I'm gonna go invisible mode and then go to her house. Like, you know?
Because that's the power the Superman has. He go invisible mode.
Motherfucker's got to use a telescope.
That's the one thing he doesn't have. But I think at that time he may have not had. He may have not had it. Yeah, I don't know.
He can't go invisible mode.
No, not yet. That's later on. All right. He says that he's not alone. He did it with Chloe too. Chloe thought about all this, and the kids needed print. And go ahead.
I thought you were saying that because I was like, I don't remember him saying that he used his telescope to spy on Chloe. That's what I thought you meant.
No, him and Chloe used to spy on Lana. No, just kidding.
Wait, I was like, what?
Anyway, he's tells Santa that he didn't do all this alone. Chloe organized it. The kids, the kids needed presents, and so Santa's like, so you decided to play Santa. And Santa says he was wrong, and the Christmas spirit is not dead, just as he falls off the building. So Clark,
that had to happen. I was like, something's gonna happen. I thought initially when they were just starting the conversation that he was gonna get too close and slip and fall. Yeah. But it ended up happening.
Yeah, they had to have that
him
little.
Being Superman, he didn't die.
He didn't die. Clark runs down the wall. They do this effect. What do you think of the effect?
I thought it was cool. It was it made it seem like obviously it wasn't real, but it made it seem real. Like, holy shit! Like, obviously he's running that fast.
Yeah,
I love this. The slow still shot.
Yeah,
it was a cool scene.
I thought it was great too. Yeah, he catches Santa and the bottle, and it spills all over his hand. But it was a good take. I mean, he really caught it. So I mean, it's that probably wasn't an effect. He probably really caught
like
that.
Dropped it from above a little out of sight. Yeah.
Yep, he probably really caught that. He says, ho, ho, holy cow, Merry Christmas, as Santa walks off the set.
And you know what? He probably wasn't, now that I go back and think about this, because I would have been like, what the fuck just happened? Accidentally fell off. Somebody caught me, and it's this guy standing next to me.
Yeah.
But he was like, because he's Santa Claus himself, he's like, of course magic happens, yo, because I can make my shit fly.
Could be, yeah.
Make reindeer fly.
Yeah, he doesn't really think anything of it, or maybe he just thinks he's drunk. That's kind of the vibe they're trying to give off, is that, oh, he's just drunk. He doesn't,
he doesn't know.
Yeah, it doesn't know. Faded. He doesn't know. Everybody always gets hit on the head whenever Clark does something. Like Lex always gets knocked out or something. Everyone always gets knocked out like right before
before something happens. Except for in the not the previews, but what's when the intro, right? Skip the intro. I see Lex swinging around with a freaking sword, and he blocks it and it shatters. Except for that time.
But then he gets knocked out, or Lex doesn't remember. He's like, I've got it. Or Lex goes into a one of his psychotic breaks.
Yeah. And then he starts like thinking to himself, okay, that couldn't have been real.
Speaking of Lex, we find out that they're collapsing his left lung and just going to go ahead and go through it. I don't think they tell the odds, but they say they're really bad. They don't ever say specifically what percentage but it's just obviously the chances of survival are not good. Yeah. And he says he's about to perform a miracle as we cut to the Luthers arriving at the party at the Kent farm. Ugh, that's fun to say. And the Kent farm is Christmased out. It looks amazing. They
got butlers in that shit serving champagne. Come on now. Have you ever been to a party that they have butlers serving champagne? No. I never have.
You're not hanging out with the Kents. That's the thing, Jonathan Kent. It's really out of character. I like Jonathan's glasses here. He's got weird glasses, but I remember thinking this. Jonathan is drinking a lot. He's bought a glass of scotch or something that he's walking around talking with Lex, and he tells Lex that he's going to be awarded the humanitarian of, Kansas. Lex is going to be
That's
the
what
Kansas
politics does to
Humanitarian
you.
Award. Yeah,
It makes
he's just drinking.
You got a freaking headache all the time dealing with politics.
To like these fucking people.
Yeah. And
So,
you know what, dude? Like all of this for Lex is just it's a freaking 180. Like this dude is evil in the show. He's always trying to fuck something up. And this is the one episode that you're like, oh, this could be his life. He could fucking win a humanitarian award. Come on.
Yeah.
Now.
It could be. Lex always has potential. I think Lex has always been kind of portrayed like the peak of humanity, what humanity could be on its own. And that's why Lex is always kind of jealous of Superman, because he's like, I worked so hard to become who I am, and then you just show up. And anyway, so let's see. Jonathan's drinking a lot, I have here, and then he gets a glass and they toast. He's so swift. He just dumps the whiskey, grabs a champagne glass, and he's like, "Come on, everybody, get a glass!" Like
I thought it was the same cup, dude. I didn't even see that. I didn't even
switched. See that. Yeah, I just thought he shouldn't be drinking a lot,
because he's got butlers. That's what makes it easy to switch.
Yeah, I guess so. I wouldn't know, but
I know. And then he says, like, in his speech, he's like, you're the son, or he probably said that to him in private, I think. Yeah. He's like, you're kind of like my son. But where he, like, that speech, him being like, to the best man I know.
Yeah, like, dude. What? Lex Luthor. He tells Lex, I couldn't be prouder of you if you were my own son.
That's right. That's what he says. Yeah.
Lex Luthor, the finest man I know.
Yeah.
So Lex is outside and he's talking to his mom outside. He says he can't remember being this happy and this is the best day of his life. She tells him that it doesn't have to end and he wants to know what he has to do. She tells him just to make the right decision and follow your heart and not your ambition. Damn, that rhymed. I didn't even make the right decision. Follow your heart and not your ambition.
Oh yeah, that does kind of it flows well. The words flow well together, almost like it would be a song. Hey, it's an idea for a song.
I'm gonna borrow these lines, just tweak it. No, Clark asks Lex who he's talking to, and he says nobody, maybe himself. Clark is drinking here again. Everybody's drinking. It's just out of character.
Hey man, it's a party.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right though. He'd be the one to be like. He might have a glass of champagne or something, but you would only see it one time, right?
Yeah. He's not walking around outside with it going, hey, I'm just walking around with a glass of champagne. I'm Clark Kent.
I'm a senator.
Senator's son. A senator's son. Clark is. Clark would be a senator's son.
Oh, you're talking about Clark. Clark was drinking?
Yeah, Clark was drinking when he was outside talking to Lex. He held up a glass and he was like, the holidays will do it to you. But I don't know if he was drinking or drunk. He
was faded.
But then we have to go, is this really happening in Lex's mind or is this a future? Sorry, hit my mic again. Is this the absolute future? We'll talk about that later. You never know. Because that would maybe be like...
No.
That would maybe be like why Clark is not Superman. Because Lex doesn't know he's Superman. So in his mind, he would never become that. Let's see. Lex tells Clark that life is nothing like he had planned, and Clark tells Lex, you have a wonderful life. And this is a reference to the movie called, can you guess what it's called?
A Wonderful Life?
Exactly. You got it.
Yay!
You win the prize. $5,000. No, just kidding.
I'll take it. Hey, you really gonna give me $5,000, dude?
It's already wired to your bank account.
Thanks, man.
I don't even need your bank account number. I know.
Okay, yeah, there it is, dude.
So anyway, so in that movie, the main character sees what life would be like without him. So anyway, Lex can't believe that him and Lana are together, and he's the kind of man that she could love. Is the kind of man that Clark has always been. Is what Lex tells Clark. But
yeah,
Clark
I got kind of deep there between that conversation. Right, again, just like all the conversations with the ones with Lana, the ones with Jonathan Kent.
Yeah,
you know, everybody's conversation with Lex is like really deep, and it's like, this could be your life. You're just so wonderful.
Yeah, so everything is great. You're a great person, and I'm proud of you. Yeah, so Clark just says he wasn't ready. Maybe he never will be. So I guess that means that him and Chloe aren't together. And so
that's true. It could be true. Maybe they're dating, but they're not, you know,
who
marriage
knows?
isn't for everybody.
Yeah. But they're all just glad. Everyone's just thrilled that they can just remain such good friends. Martha comes in to tell him to come. Martha comes out and we'll edit this part out. Martha tells them to come quick. It's Lana. If you can believe it, it's Lana.
Her baby's coming.
Oh my God. All of this happens so fast. We go into the hospital. The baby is born. Lex tells Lana what an amazing Christmas gift. I thought that they would name her Alexis, but they name her Lily, which is after his mom.
Yeah. I like the name Lily for a girl. It's a cute name.
Yeah. Lana, if you can believe it, begins to fade. Oh my God. I did not see this coming. Did you?
You know, no, I didn't. But I did.
Like, I was just kidding.
I knew you did. I knew you were joking, you bastard. But I did not expect her to almost be dead. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They shut Lex out, and the hospital's all pink. What the heck is going on? It's the colors and everything in that room.
I didn't see. I didn't notice the color of the room. I just obviously was in the hospital.
Yeah,
and they're like code 9. Yeah. Get him out. Get out here. You shouldn't see this. You know, all dramatic and medical shows.
And they close the door, and the blinds are on the outside. Like Lex.
I just noticed that. That's funny. He's like, let me just you can just go,
because he hits it like this, and it's like the blinds kind of jump like move. That, and it's like the blinds are on the outside. Anyway, yeah, what kind of hospital is this? Let's see. We find out that Lana has lost a lot of blood. The nurse tells him Lex knows what he has to do. It's almost like the nurse is saying, well, you got to go to your dad. So then we cut to Lex going to visit Lionel's hair.
Lex does? I'm trying to remember here.
Lex goes to the mansion.
That's right.
To speak with Lionel's hair.
It's been 7 years.
Yeah.
And he needs his help. Dude, what he says is jacked up. But you know what? That's fucking Luther's character. He's fucked up in the shows, man. He's always he's always out for what's best for him, and he don't give a shit about nobody.
Yeah.
You know? So of course, you know, any normal human being, I would hope, would be like, of course, dude, take the helijet.
Take the helijet.
Go take it right now.
He says that everything changed. I just want to point out the lighting on John Glover.
Yeah,
he's just wonderful. He's on the computer. He's looking at pornography. He's drinking out of a great glass I've got here, and he's like, "What a sorry situation you've got."
Yeah. Lex. He's like, I'm the fucking master, yo. You came to me. Remember, I told you this shit was gonna happen.
Yeah. He says that it's the mother of your grandchildren, and Lionel says, how can I have any grandchildren when I don't have a son? Insane.
That is harsh.
Yeah, insane. Harsh.
I was like, he won't even like help him save a life.
No.
Like, he's so cold that he would still turn a cold shoulder to him.
To teach his son a lesson, because that's how much Lionel loves his son. Anyway, yeah. Lionel says everything led to this. He told him that this would happen when he gave up the race to Jonathan Kent. Lex gave up the power and money that could save Lana. Lionel calls him pathetic. That's just awful. Lionel is so good. John Glover is such a good actor. Let me see. Lionel tells him to get back. You better get back to it. That's just so cold. Anyway, I love that.
Yep.
We cut to the hospital again, and Lex is begging Lana to stay. Lana tells Lex to stay strong for Alexander and Lily. Lex tells Lana that he loves her, and he's always she has always loved him too. Maybe that's the other way around. They've loved each other for a while. She says she loves him, and that he's a good man and to never change. And then I got to point out here this good acting by Michael Rosenbaum and Lana.
For those of you that don't know, that's Lex Luthor.
That's Lex and Kirsten Lana. But Rosie is just great. Anyway, Lana dies. His mom shows up and explains that he is actually in a television show right now.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
So wake up. No. He's been punked.
Yeah, right? He's been punked. We're just kidding. We all did this. Lex says this is a strong character moment. Lex says that everyone he has ever loved has died. That's just crazy.
You know, he did mention a name, Julian. I figured maybe that was his brother.
His younger brother. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
His brother, his mom, now his wife.
And now Lana is dead and he couldn't do anything about it. Lex gets immediately pulled out of the coma. And Lionel tells him that everything will be okay.
Yeah, you're cool.
Lionel. Ugh, what a slime ball. Back to Chloe at the planet. Can you believe it? Who walks in the door? It's Santa Claus.
And at first, man, the initial interaction, of course, she's just in there by herself. All of a sudden, this dude's in there. You know,
it was a different time.
I guess. You know, I was like, it's kind of creepy, you know?
All the other lights off, you know?
I would be like, I got my hand on my 9. What's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Let me see. Santa comes and he's all cleaned up. He says he met Clark and he offers to help, but Chloe is, of course, skeptical. And he says, what's the worst that can happen is if I make off with a few squirt guns.
Yeah. Right.
And Chloe goes over to get the trusty map quest and she turns around just for a second and everything is gone. But
that's when I knew. That's when I
knew.
knew because I thought that Santa was not real.
God,
and when I saw that, I knew he was real. And I know everything I got for Christmas, man, I thought it was my family that gave it to me. Fucking Santa Claus came to see me. I'm getting emotional about this.
I'm glad to have shared this with you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lex is in the hospital and he calls in for Lionel. And Lionel says, whatever can happen, it can wait till you're stronger. Lionel. Yeah.
I'm like, this dude is talking to you just normal.
Yeah.
How much stronger does he need to get?
Way stronger. Yeah. Lionel, I love it how he's just so cocky. He thinks, I did it. You pulled through. God, can you? And it was my idea. They were going to let you be, paralyzed from the waist down. I think that he thinks that his son should be proud of him. And Lionel opted for his son to have the surgery. And Lex is upset. He hears about the odds. He's like, they told me about the odds. And Lionel went against it.
Yeah. And earlier I mentioned something about this scene that I want to talk about. It was that interaction, how cold-hearted this dude is, because it made me realize that he wasn't doing that because he loved his son. Absolutely, he was doing that because he is a Luthor, and Luthors are strong and they're men and they're not paralyzed in a wheelchair. This cannot happen to my son. That's the reason.
Absolutely right,
I was
man.
like, dang, man. And at first I thought, well, of course, on some level he's doing this because he wants, he's really thinking about his son and he wants what's best for him. And, but obviously he's not making the right choice because who would go against the doctor's orders like that, especially in a dire situation. But
Yeah. Lex
But at the
tells
same time, dude, but at the same time, hear me out. If I was Lex, like I'd be like this, like don't ever do that. But like almost like thank you for having that being that person, because if it wasn't for that decision, I'd be in a wheelchair. Not saying that is just terrible, but but if you're, I mean, from going from that situation and then being a paraplegic, that would suck, but at the same time, be like, thank you, because now I can walk.
And I think that there is that kind of common, they give each other a look, and I think that that's kind of conveyed, but he tells him not to play God with his life anymore. We cut back to the Kent farm, and it's Christmas time. We see Shelby, the dog. He gets a cookie or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the golden retriever.
I always wish they would have named him Crypto, but that probably would have been too on the nose. If
what was the dog's name again?
Shelby.
Oh, I said Toby. I was gonna say I thought it was Toby. Shelby.
Is it Toby? I don't know. We get to Lana serving eggnog while Chloe tells Clark that maybe it was Santa. Maybe there's a chance. Martha says it's snowing and that they're going to have a white Christmas. And I just want to point out, I love Annette O'Toole, who plays Martha Kent here. I don't know if I should save this I'll save it for trivia time. Well, I'll tell it because I don't want to forget. Let's see. So Martha Kent plays, this actress plays Lana Lang in Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve, like in the 80s or 70s.
Whoa, early when she was a lot younger. Whoa, I didn't know that.
So anyway,
I did not know that.
Yeah. Outside, Clark tells Lana Merry Christmas.
And eventually we'll watch that movie.
Yeah, we'll watch it. We'll get through those for sure. For sure. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
Somebody said Merry Christmas.
Outside, they all go out to the snow, and Clark takes Lana out into the snow and says, Merry Christmas. Hope it's the first of many. Lex is in the hospital, and guess who's there? It's Griff from earlier in the episode. He says he doesn't make house calls, and that's why he didn't go to the mansion. Lex says that earlier. I forgot about that. In the first interaction, he's like, why couldn't we have met at the mansion? And he's like, I don't do house calls. He says, but at this time, he's going to make an exception.
Yep. I remember that.
Much like Scrooge, Lex has learned from all this, and he learns that he wants to live happily ever after. And the secret to that is to have power, money, and power.
Opposite of the whole fucking episode that's trying to teach him that it's not that.
To secure things and keep it that way.
Exactly. But that, being raised that way by his dad, just like Trump today is all about deny. Yeah. Whatever method he has for all this stuff, he learned from it wasn't his dad, it was some other guy that raised him almost like, anyway, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But it's like that, you're raised like that. So you think, what? This is how, and a lot of people would probably agree that money does do a lot. It doesn't bring happiness, and that's true, but if you got money and power, you can do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah. There's a comic book arc in the 80s, and I think early 90s too, but in the 80s for sure, a comic book Man of Steel that was a reboot of Superman, and Lex Luthor is straight up Donald Trump. I'm serious. And he's
we gotta watch that one.
It's a comic book. It's a comic book series.
Oh, there's
there's probably
episode?
A hardback like a book, but it's not on. I have to show you something, but anyway.
Well, then you know what? Then I'm gonna have to read the bitch. That's what we're gonna have to do, right?
I guess so. But and then also Lex runs for president too, as well, and in the comics as well. We'll get there as well. Lots of things to unpack. So, all right. Lex tells Griff just to pull the grenade on the Jonathan Kent stuff, find it, make it up, whatever you got to do. He doesn't care. Griff says to consider it done, and he wishes Lex a Merry Christmas. The camera pulls out, and we see a reflection of Lex with his mom.
Yeah.
And his mom fades away. Like, I think that's the last chance of any good that he probably could have done. That's when he made the choice at that point. That's kind of why this episode is so significant.
Yeah.
And
but I think a large driver to that though was Lana dying, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's like, seriously, like, yeah, I could be happy, but I'm gonna make sure this shit doesn't happen. I'm gonna secure it, So it comes full circle.
It does. He still probably thinks he can get Lana. Anyway, the music I have written down here is the line from Silent Night that's holy infant, so tender and mild.
I know that song. Yep.
Pull out. Anyway, so that is the end of the episode. LJ, what did you think of it?
Overall, awesome episode. And I was like, how is this? Obviously, it had something to do with Christmas, but I had no idea what was going to happen. And the way the episode was written was really cool. I mean, anybody that didn't know anything about anything comic book could watch the episode and still be entertained.
Yeah.
So it was a good show.
I loved it too. Episode. Yeah. It's just like what could have happened for Lex. And it's just a significant point in the series where I feel like his mom kind of left him in that. Yeah. So anyway,
and it was an interesting take on a kind of an evil doer, in a show. And he plays how it could have turned out for him.
He plays it so well. I just love Michael Rosenbaum and everyone in this series.
Yeah.
All right, LJ, do you know what time it is?
It's trivia time.
Trivia time. All right. So let's see. This episode takes place on December 24th, 2005, while Lex's dream takes place on December 24th, 2012. So there's the time frame that we have here.
Hence the flip phones and 8-megapixel cameras.
And Jonathan's glasses. And Chloe's hair,
MapQuest.
This episode, it bears a strong resemblance to the film Family Man with Nicolas Cage, where the character gets an extended glimpse into what his life could have been if he had followed his heart rather than his ambitions.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that was I've seen that movie. That movie is really good too.
Yeah,
it is such a great movie. And I was like, I've seen this before, where it's like, oh, I could, but I couldn't think of where I'd seen it before. But you just answered the question there.
That's it. And of course, this is a play on LeXmas or on Xmas, and X is actually has been used. X is the Greek letter that stood for Christ. So that's why it was called Xmas for a long time. And with Lex being Lex, they just combined the two.
What the hell? You know what? I thought X, because that's funny, to abbreviate Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You put X-MAS or you just put it together, Xmas, right?
Yeah.
You don't even I've never really thought about why there's a X.
Yeah.
And why.
That's why. See, you learned everything here, Got medical
Xmas.
stuff. We got Greek letter.
Occipital protuberance. Yeah. Everybody's got one.
And maybe, yeah.
I didn't know the letter X meant Christ either.
And maybe that's why, because I have written that if you look on Lionel's glass, there's a Greek letter or a Greek pattern around the top of it. Let's see. Yeah. Lana dies again in the episodes Reckoning, Void, and Phantom.
In the Smallville series?
Yeah. Yeah.
She dies again?
Mm-hmm. She dies again in the episodes of Reckoning, Void,
twice,
and Phantom.
But both times she comes back, right?
Yeah, she does.
She has to.
Yeah. Well, that's it for trivia time. So we were talking about this, just kind of doing a new format, like where we maybe take a few arcs of a series, and if something's 2 or 3 episodes, and be able to span it out for a little bit, and maybe take movies and be able to span them across a couple episodes, so we can cut down on the record time.
Yeah, because it's a long fucking time, man.
Yeah. So but we'll try to do that, and so that's kind of the format we're thinking about moving forward. That sound good to you, man?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Well, dude, thanks again. I keep hitting this mic. I got to maybe move it to another position. Thanks again for coming on.
Have it right here.
Yeah.
Above your head.
Just over here. Just have it right here.
In front of your face. Yeah, dude. Always, man. These are cool.
Sound okay?
I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah, I do. I do too, man. I really do. It's a lot of fun. So I hope to do it in the future. And again, we'll work around schedules, so we'll make it happen.
Okay.
All right, dude. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to, again, I'm Casey Jones, and this is LJ Solar, and you have been listening to K. Anything else you want to say, LJ?
No, that's it. K.